And hello fellow aviators, the Ref Simmer here, and welcome to Mammoth Lakes, California for our flight today over the mountains to San Francisco International. You can see they've already boarded everybody up in the aircraft. We have the door closed, APUs operating. So we're just going to be waiting on us to finish our departure briefing and all of that, and we'll be ready to be underway en route to San Francisco. So happy to have each of you with me today here on this flight, and please be sure to say hello in the chat if you are tuning in. Look forward to saying hi to some old friends and making some new ones here, so definitely excited to have you along. So let's go ahead and do our departure briefing. You saw a lot of the pre-flight. I tried it today, just doing it with the music playing and silently, so hope that was instructive. I've given descriptions of everything I'm doing in some of the other aircraft. It's pretty similar here in the Airbus A320 compared to, or in the A321, which we're flying today, compared to the A320 and the A319. So not a whole lot of differences there, but we'll go ahead and get everything pulled away. It looks like the ground handling, everything's complete there, so I'll have everybody drive away. We don't need everybody anymore. And let's go ahead and do the departure briefing. So I'll pull out our Avatab tablet, which has the release here. And we'll start with the airplane details and weight. We're due out at 30 past the hour, so we have 14 minutes till our scheduled push. And we can leave 10 minutes early if we need to. Looks like we'll be able to leave a little bit early, which is a good thing. Keeps the passengers happy. So our flight 5874, Mammoth Lakes to San Francisco, and crew names are all correct. The weights on this flight, you maybe saw me putting in the weights on the Toliss plugin here. It's called the Toliss ISCS screen, but takeoff weight is 158,173, and our plane gate fuel is 10,152 pounds. We're at 10,140. Min takeoff fuel is 9,712 pounds. So as long as we don't get a substantial delay going out to take off, we should have plenty of fuel here today. So let's move on to the weather portion of our briefing. You saw earlier I pulled up the current weather with the XEnviro Weather briefing section. So here at Mammoth Lakes, winds are 150 at 3 knots, so we're planning to depart runway 9. 10 miles visibility, clear skies, temperature 6, dew point minus 14, 3016 on the altimeters, which is set left, set right. And then this standby only does the hectopascals, so 1021 is what it needs to be set at. So I'll set that. There it goes. And then forecast for San Francisco. Let's find that here on the release. I think it's going to be back a few pages here. There it is. Yeah, forecast here. Visual meteorological conditions at Mammoth Lakes the rest of the day. And San Francisco, beautiful day over there in the Bay Area. Winds out of the south, 17 knots, 10 miles, clear skies, temperature 21 Celsius, and dew point minus 4, 3005 on the altimeters. So we'll have a little bit of a pressure drop from here to there as we go over the mountains. And forecast is calling for winds variable at 5 knots, plus 6 miles, scattered 20,000 feet, and winds prevailing out of the northwest, the west-northwest, as the evening progresses. So planning runway 28 right, I think, for our approach into there. Let's look at the NOTAMs, the notices to airmen. And out of Mammoth Lakes, nothing that should affect us, just something for the RNAV, GPS approach runway 27. Hey, going into San Francisco, not really that many notices to airmen for a Class Bravo airport. And looks like there's just some guard lights that are out, and let's see what else we have. Some centerline lights out, lighting problems. It should be daylight when we get there, so nothing that should affect us. Some note changes on some of the departures out of there, and ILS 28 left. The RVR, the runway visual range required is different, but we're going to be more than likely a visual approach today. ILS to a visual into there with that beautiful weather in the Bay Area. taxi out route here out of Mammoth Lakes. So you can see has our aircraft here at the terminal. Part of runway 9 is the plan, so we'll push back and likely it'll be a right-hand turnout, or I'm sorry, a left-hand turnout onto Alpha, left Alpha 5 to runway 9. You can see we're at a higher elevation here, 7,135 feet. We get to the end of the runway. And it's a downward slope. You can see it's 7,061 feet when you get to the end of that 7,000 foot runway. And the airport is located in mountainous terrain with occasional strong winds and turbulence. Lighted windsock available at runway ends and center field. With southerly crosswinds in excess of 15 knots, expect turbulence and possible wind shear along first 3,000 feet over runway 27. So we will leave the continuous ignition on down here for this takeoff in case there's some winds that start screaming down the mountains. And obviously we are a scheduled service here with United Airlines. It's ski season, so we have an Airbus A321 carrying a lot of extra people today over to the Bay Area. Notice abatement procedures are in effect here, so avoid flying over the town of Mammoth Lakes, which is up to the north. And straight into runway 27, which we're not going to be doing today. Wouldn't want to fly over Crawley Lake and not over the communities. And there's a ridge 3 nautical miles from approach into runway 9.
We're ready to go when you are.
Alright, sounds like boarding is complete back there. That's good. So let's look at our
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen,
departure
and welcome
procedure.
aboard flight
Do not exceed 250 knots until established on the 054 heading. We're flying the Nickel 1 departure is our planned route. We'll get our clearance as we get up to the runway. But on this Nickel 1 departure, pull up flight plan, here we are at the beginning of this. Off runway 9, climb heading 094 to 9,500 feet, and then climbing left turn to a 054 heading to intercept the Bishop 322 radial to Nickel. So let's make sure that that's showing in here. You can see we start out on that 094 heading, climb to 9,500 feet, and then we enter a 054 heading to intercept that 322 radial, which is outbound from the Bishop VOR and all the way up to Nickel at 38.5 nautical miles away. And then after Nickel, it's direct to Diamond was our filed route, which takes us directly onto the Diamond 5 RNAV arrival. And Diamond max of 290 knots at or above flight level 270. Let's make sure that that's showing. There it is, Diamond. We need to punch that in, I think. So speed constraint is, let's see here, hold up 1 second. Let me make sure I've got this right. We'll say Diamond's, yeah, sorry. Speed constraint is going to be 290 knots. I can click the correct line select key there. So speed constraint is 290 knots, and altitude constraint is level 2 at or above level 270. So I think we can do plus. Now let's see if that works. Yep. That'll let us do that. Okay, great. So we have that set. Gotta go all the way back to Diamond. Diamond 290 knots at or above level 270. You can see we have our top of descent right before that. That little white arrow pointing downward. Then we have lane at 280 knots between level 260 and 220. Always flows at 280 knots between flight level 190 and 14,000. Then we slow and then seeds 250 knots between 12,000 and 10,000 freely at 230 knots at or above 8,000. Archie at 7,000. That's a mandatory, which is showing there. And then we're on to the what I think will be our approach to 28 right, which we'll verify as we get closer. Archie mandatory 7,000. Then Xylid at or above 6,000. Gear at or above 5,000. Dumba at or above 4,000. Seepin 3,000. Exmol 1,800. And then the mist is out to VICU. That all looks good. showing a total distance in here of 214 nautical miles, and the actual flight plan was showing a total distance of 213, so that's almost spot on. So we're looking good in that regard. As far as our performance, speeds are V1 133, VR 143, V2 147, flaps set at 1. If we have a problem below 80 knots on the takeoff roll, we'll abort the takeoff for a variety of reasons. Above 80 knots only for an engine fire, a fire in the aircraft, or inability of the aircraft to either get or stay airborne. So that's basically all I have. Transition flight level is flight level 180 if I didn't say that already. With that being said, let's go ahead and do the before start checklist. So departure briefing complete, FMC's radios, program set verified, ADIRS, nav aligned, hydraulic power set, fuel panel 6 pumps on, autocross feed closed, fuel quantity 10,140 pounds cleared, cross checked, cabin signs on, hydraulic quantity normal, oil quantity normal, oxygen check complete, auto brakes will be RTO after we push back. The Toliss won't let you turn it on before you push back and get the, I will not have the engine hydraulic pumps running until then. The altimeter 3016 is set, park and brake set, pressure normal, gross weight is checked, airspeed bugs, I'm going to set those over here on the first officer's side. So V1 133, VR 143, V2 147 set. Engine master switches down here are off. Trim will be 00 and down 0.2 after pushback. Doors showing closed, slides are all armed. And nav beacon lights on, we'll go ahead and turn the beacon light on. Cabin preparations complete, ACARS is initialized. Before start check complete, let's close up the cockpit door and we'll get underway. Let me lock it here. Part of the security measures we need to follow after per the FAA. And I will call out the tug to come and get us.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Roger.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Great. I'm going to go get our time started. And our tug is on the way. You can see this is some neat scenery out here. I think there's a lot of snowfall because this is the Xcoder Mammoth Lakes Yosemite scenery, and the mountains are very, very white. So I kind of wonder what this will look like in the summertime. But it looks neat, and you can see down here while we're waiting on the tug to. So you can see the Mammoth Yosemite Airport elevation, 7,128 feet. I believe it's green when there's not snow around the area.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed.
But let's go ahead and hop back in. We're ready to get it rolling. I'm going to put this back to arc mode, so we'll be ready to go. A pretty short flight today. It's going to be very beautiful. Sunset over Yosemite National Park, which is just up to the north of here. And into the Bay Area, which is always a beautiful approach, for sure. You can hear the custom boarding music for United Airlines playing in the background. This is a United Airlines flight. And I have some quick views back here in the cabin so that we can...
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Enjoy the experience back there too if we want. Alright, we'll go ahead and get pushed. We need to stay on schedule today. So we were planned to be out of the gate at 30 after. It's about, look at that. Right on time, just a few seconds early. So we'll go ahead and start 1, then 2. Here we go. Wow, this is a pretty rough pushback right now.
direct your attention to the screen for an important safety demonstration. Thank you for flying with us. Welcome aboard. Before we depart, please remove the safety card from the seat pocket in front of you and follow along as we demonstrate the safety features of this Airbus A320 airplane. We appreciate your complete attention to this important safety information. If you're seated in an exit row, you may be required to assist the crew in an emergency. If you're unable to perform the functions described on the safety card, please advise the flight attendant for reseating at the end of this video.
Fasten your seatbelt low and tight across your lap. Insert the metal fitting into the buckle. Tighten the belt by
I should turn off this anti-skid nozzle steering.
Lift the buckle flap. When
It's the safety measure.
Immediately be seated and buckle up. To ensure your safety, your seatbelt should be fastened at all times when you are seated.
There are 4 exit doors, 2 on each side of the airplane, and 4 window exits located over the wing. Each is equipped with an evacuation slide that automatically inflates. Each exit is marked with a sign overhead.
Alright, have a good start on 1. Let's start 2.
Direction of the arrow. Open the overwing exits by removing the covers and pulling down on the marked handle. Be sure to jump into the slide with your legs in front of you. When you're on the ground, move away from the airplane. In the event of a water landing, main door slides can be detached from the airplane and used for supplemental flotation. Overwing exits should not be used in a water landing unless directed by a crew member.
Look around to locate the 2 exits nearest your seat. In some cases, your nearest usable exit may be behind you.
In an evacuation, exit
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Rudder. Let me get the stand by 1 second.
Is located under or near your seat. It can be
Alright, brake set, clear to
identified by a
disconnect.
red tab.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Roger. Alright, they're getting us disconnected now.
Tab to remove the vest. Tear open the pouch, remove and unfold the vest. To secure the vest, slip it over your head. Pull the straps from the back and attach the hooks to the ring in front. Pull the waist straps away from you until they are tight around your waist. In an emergency, exit the airplane and only then inflate the vest by pulling down sharply.
Alright,
onto the red
clear off
tab.
headset, go to disconnect. Thanks for the great
Additional
push.
flotation is needed, pull the second red tab. You can also inflate the vest by blowing into the tube.
If needed, oxygen mask will drop from above your seat. To start the flow of oxygen, firmly pull a mask towards you to extend the plastic tube. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic band.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Thank you.
Secure your mask before helping others and continue using until directed by a crew member.
United Airlines is a non-smoking airline. U.S. law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying lavatory smoke detectors.
I need to get the common traffic advisor frequency in here, 122.8, before we get moving.
And crew member instructions.
Please ensure your carry-on items and
There it
tray
is.
tables are stowed. Your seat back is in its
Alright, there's
full
our
upright
salute.
position.
We have a good salute. Let's go ahead and get the aircraft configured. Nozzle steering back on.
Be sure that laptop computers,
Flaps set to
cell
1.
phones, and all personal electronics are turned off and properly stowed.
And we'll get the...
If an emergency
We're going to leave the
is
engine and
necessary, leave all carry-on
ignition
items behind.
start in the mode selector.
Any questions
And we need to go down 0.2 with
On behalf of
the
your flight crew, thank you for your attention to safety. It's our pleasure to have
with
you
the trim. It's just showing down 0.2. Let's do a quick flight control check. So full forward, neutral, full aft, neutral, full right, neutral, full left, neutral. Alright, that's good. And I get the transponder on and squawking. There we go. Perfect.
Cabin is ready.
Alright, thank you. Cabin's ready for departure. So go ahead and we'll start our taxi now, and then I'll call up Oakland Center and get our clearance before we head out of here. So we're rolling. Let's check the brakes really quickly. The pressure went down when I released the parking brake, and it looks like we're stopping, no problem. That's good. Let's get the auto brakes onto RTO, and I'll announce our intentions. Mammoth Yosemite traffic, United 5874 Airbus A321, taxiing from the commercial terminal to runway 9er via Alpha 5. Any traffic in the area, please advise. Mammoth Yosemite. Alright, so these are some pretty narrow taxiways for a big aircraft like this A321. So you can see I had to really overshoot the line there. And then this is quite a maneuver here for this aircraft. I think United typically flies right now CRJ 700s, United Express operation, to come in here. So it'd be a little easier taxiing one of those around here as opposed to this big old Airbus A321. As you can see there, we're right on the edge of the taxiway, and that was a pretty tight turn. Alright, well, let's continue this taxi. We're slowing down. We need a little extra thrust because like we saw in our departure brief and looking at that runway slope, there's about 100-foot difference between the eastern edge and the western edge of that runway. So we're climbing uphill to get to the departure end here. And then we'll be screaming downhill on takeoff. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pick up our clearance, and then we'll be ready to put our cruise altitude in there for right now. And then we'll be ready to roll. So Oakland Center in this area is 125.75. So let's tune that in really quickly. And typically you would not be heads down and taxiing, but I have it going pretty much straight, which is good. Oakland Center, United 5874 on the ground at Mammoth Lakes, Yosemite. You'd like to pick up Ifr Clearance to San Francisco. Now we might have to go on Riverside Radio 122.15. I might have to use that. There he is. I hear him now. And let me see. I think actually my push. Let me hold up right here for a sec. I think my push to talk is not working because I have VATSIM controls. Let's see if this will do the trick. I do VATSIM alpha and then press to talk. It needs to be. This needs to be pressed to talk, I think. Let's see here. What did I have on PilotEdge? Alpha. Cancel that and see. It was XSB radio. Press start. Let me test it really quickly. So how you can test on PilotEdge is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You set that in both radios. It's going to take me a second to dial it in. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And also in the second radio. Turn on the volume for both. Check. Check. Yeah, see, it's not. Check. Check. It's not transmitting. So let's we gotta figure this out before we can depart. So the press to talk needs to just be like radios. Let's see if there's a or press to talk. Maybe if I just type in talk. Oh, let's see here. Radio. There's gotta be something about radios in here. It's the only kind of a contact ATC. That's what I need. Okay. There, now we should work. Test. Yep, see, now we can hear ourselves. Alright, let's switch it back over. Yeah, 122.8. Otherwise we'd be sitting there trying to call this guy all day and he'd never respond and it'd just be a mess. Alright. Oakland Center, United 5874 on the ground, Mammoth Lakes. Like to pick up Ifr Clearance to San Francisco, ready for departure, runway 9er.
South 318, you able to your nav database? That's really the only feasible on all the old arrivals that are probably in your FMS were phased out this past week. You're going to need to double check your nav database and update it. Who else called?
Oakland Center, United 5874 on the ground, Mammoth Lakes. Like to pick up Ifr Clearance to San Francisco.
Contact me on 1222.
What is it, 1222? Oakland Center, United 5874, radio check.
Loud and clear.
And Oakland Center, United 5874 on the ground, Mammoth Lakes. Like to pick up Ifr to San Francisco, ready for departure, runway 9er.
5874 to the San Francisco Airport. Nickel, to clear the San Francisco Airport is filed. Climb maintain flight level 230, departure frequency 125.75 and squawk 7057.
5874 cleared to San Francisco as filed. Climb maintain flight level 230, departure 12575, squawk 7057.
5874, read back and release to departure. Clearance void sent off in 5 minutes.
Clearance released and clearance void in 5 minutes, United 5874. Alright, so there we heard it. Let me, I'm going to write down my departure frequency there. So we can go back to unit 12575 is the departure, and then we need to be on 122.8 right now. And we have 5 minutes to get off the ground, so I'm going to start this timer just so we'll know for sure. Alright, so 122.8 is in, 12575 is standing by there for after departure. We can go up to flight level 230, so 23,000 feet is set. And we need to squawk 7057 in the transponder here, so 7057 is set. Alright, excellent. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the TARA mode, the TCAS, get the radar on. Tilt that up, the predictive wind shear, and looks like we need to go ahead and do the takeoff config check. The cabin said that they were ready, so I need to do the call there and it'll show that they're ready. And let's do a really quick departure takeoff briefing here. So we're planning on going out Mammoth Lakes, landing up on 9094 is the runway heading we're looking for, and then we're climbing up to on 094 heading initially to 9,500 feet, left 054, then outbound on the 322 to Nickel. That all matches. Flaps are at 1, speeds are 133, 143, 147, and continuous ignition's on for the mountain turbulence. And let's do the for takeoff check. Flaps 1F, planned indicating green light and detent. Control checks complete. FCU is managed speed and nav. Engine anti-ice off. Engine mode selector. Ignition start. Trims weight speeds check set. FMC's radio is programmed set for departure. Ojibwa's radar is terrain on the left and on the right for now. That's our main threat out there with the mountains. And thrust is full rated. It's toga at 100.5. Takeoff configuration normal. ECAM status check. Let's do that really quickly. Just make sure this looks good. It is complete. Cabin notification complete. Transponder TARA. Takeoff memo green. Landing lights and strobe lights. We'll get all of that on now. For takeoff check complete. And we'll make an announcement. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the APU. We don't need that anymore. Mammoth Lakes traffic, United 5874, Airbus A321, departing runway 9er. We'll be departing the pattern via the Nickel 1 departure. Mammoth Lakes, Yosemite. Okay, here we go. And we're at 2 minutes 42 seconds, so we still have a couple minutes to our clearance is void. You can see they have a lot of snow on the mountains out here. Look at how narrow this taxiway is. Isn't that crazy? And 9712 was our min fuel for takeoff. We're showing 9780, so we had just enough fuel to do that taxi and wait with the clearance. Alright, there's our windsock. Looking like it'll be a slight crosswind from the right. And we'll line up. Runway 9 is verified. Here we go. I have controls. And set thrust. Mantoga, SRS nav, auto throttle is armed. Airspeed's alive. .90 knots. V1. Rotate. Pause, brake, gear up. Mammoth Lakes traffic, United 5874, departing the pattern. Mammoth Lakes. And climb thrust.
Center, bearing 36 Santa Bravo, beginning our procedure turn. South 318, thanks, climb to Los Angeles Airport. Keens to departure, messy transmission, then is filed. Climb and maintain 8,000, departure frequency 119.2, squawk 3005.
Oh, turned a little too far. There we go.
Southwest 318, are you correct?
At Oakland Center, United 5874, off Mammoth Lakes, 10,700, climbing flight level 230 via the Nickel 1.
Okay, 5874, Oakland Center, radar contact.
Alright, radar contact. That's good. We're through 10,000 feet now, so I'll give the flight attendants the bells. And
Center, 6 Center Bravo's on our procedure.
look at those mountains out in front of us. You can see it. You're just kind of stuck down here in this valley.
5 minutes after landing on 122.2, change to advisory, frequency is approved. Clear to switch to advisory frequency and we'll let you know within 5 minutes on the ground, 6 Center Bravo.
And we still haven't accelerated to the flap retraction and the S speed there. Alright, there's S speed, flaps up after takeoff check. And autopilot on. Alright, after takeoff check, landing gear lever up, flaps up, engine anti-ice is off, ECAM memo checked. Altimeter standing by to flight level 180. Let's do a quick flyby. Watch your ears. Let's get a quick view from the back. Hey, y'all have to let me know, those of you watching the stream, what the volume's like. I'm going to check it out after I stream it, but I just got this aircraft, so I have not adjusted the volume levels yet. So hopefully it's not too loud for you back there. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful flying out of here. Look at that view. Very cool. Alright, we're underway toward Nickel now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 2,000 feet. You may turn off larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight and do not form a line near the left port. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. If you wish to connect to the Wi-Fi, you'll be directed to a page via a small seat for internet access. We do offer complimentary in-flight communication to our partners. Connect to the Wi-Fi and you'll be able to access our wide range of free live streams and library.
Let's take a quick look outside the aircraft again. Wow, that is just a stunning part of the country. Those mountains. I think from here we're going to be basically flying over Yosemite National Park. These mountains out here. Alright, there's flight level 180. Standard on the altimeters. And we'll turn off our landing lights. Really turn off lights.
5874, contact Oakland Center 127.45.
2745, United 5874. Hey, could you say the frequency one more time for United 5874?
127.45.
Good day. Two 745.
Ground, departure frequency 127.4, clock 7311.
Wow, we're getting the sun right in our eyes here when we look up. We go ahead and finish our checklist here, and then we'll call them up. Alright, after takeoff check, the final two items, altimeter is standard set, landing lights off. After takeoff check complete. Oakland Center, United 5874, flight level 206, climbing 230.
United 5874, Oakland Center, climbing maintain, flight level 280.
Climb maintain, flight level 280, United 5874. Alright, there's 28 set. I wonder if that's the airport. Back down that. Yep, there's the airport we took off from. So we just made one huge circle so that we could climb up over these mountains and get out of here. So it works. I'm going to zoom our range out so we can see the next fix that we're approaching, which should be Diamond at this point. Yep, there's Diamond all the way at the end there. I'm going to turn the volume of the engines down a little bit. It sounds really loud on my end, so. That's a little bit better, I think. It just sounded really loud. But I also have the, I don't think I listed it in the description, I need to, but this is also the Orbix Northern California scenery standard definition. This isn't the HD. I have the HD, it just takes up a lot of hard drive space, so I stuck with the SD. And honestly, it doesn't look too bad when you're up in the air. Everything's really covered in snow in this area at the moment, but they've had a lot of snow this winter. We certainly have in a lot of parts of the United States. It's made for some great skiing, so if this XEnviro snow cover is any indicator, I would imagine they're having some great skiing at Mammoth Lakes right now.
Seattle Center, Baron 600 Bravo is on the ground Friday Harbor. Like to cancel IFR. Baron 600 Bravo, Seattle IFR cancellation received. Have a good day. Have a good evening, 600 Bravo.
And look at this canyon up ahead. That is incredible. There's a little river going down through there. Wow. Just getting a great sightseeing tour as a passenger on this flight, that's for sure. Alright, so we're due in to San Francisco at 1:55Z, so a little under an hour from now. And we're showing landing at 27 past the hour, so we should have, what, 28 minutes to taxi to the Great. Alright, there's flight level 280, we're at our cruising altitude. Let's go ahead and get the ATIS in San Francisco. I'm going to close out these Mammoth Lakes charts, clear out our Avatab. Tray there. 118.15 or 0.85.
Departure frequency 119.6, clock 3373.
Clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and its flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information whiskey.
Alright, so whiskey is current. X-ray.
Starting our in-flight service. Serving complimentary back to our list of complimentary
Departing runway 1 right.
premium drinks are available for a small charge. Please note that we only accept
Departures contact clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and its flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information X-ray.
Alright, well we have X-ray. We turn the volume down on 2. So I'm going to go ahead and program, get all the data in for our landing based on the weather we got from the ATIS there. So I think it said 3002 was the altimeter. Let me double check here with the, oh, we might not be close enough to San Francisco. I want to type it in here. So KSFO. And they're showing 3004. So yeah, I think 3002 is accurate because that's an older reading. 3002. And temperature was 19. So we'll put that in. Wind is calm. I'm just going to say 360 at 0. And on 28 right, the MDA is 213. So I'll set that in just so we have it as a reference when we're coming in. Alright, 213 is set there. We're looking at an approach speed of 143. I'm going to write that down on my scratch pad just so I have it to reference. And full rated, and we're going to be doing a full flaps landing also. Excellent. Let's go back to the cruise phase where we are on this page. And I'm going to do a quick briefing of the arrival and also the approach. So I'm going to pull up this tab here so we can see all of the elements at once. And we can still keep our PFD in view so we can make sure we're going where we're supposed to. Alright, so on the arrival, it's the Diamond 5 RNAV arrival into San Francisco. That's for only 28 left and right. So we're going direct to Diamond right now. Max of 290 knots and at or above flight level 270.
Number 20 Fox, contact the local departure.
Then we go to plan mode here. And down to 10 miles. Otherwise, you're just... So Diamond, max 290 knots at or above flight level 270. Lane at 280 knots. At or between 26 22,000. Always flows 280 knots between flight level 190 and 140. Seeds 250 knots between 12,000 and 10,000 feet. Firefly 230 knots. They're above 8,000. Archie at 7,000 feet. Then on the, and then expect to sign instrument approach procedure from there. Descend via the Diamond 5 arrival, United 5874. Okay, so we have a descend via, so we'll follow these speeds so we can set in our bottom altitude, which is 7,000 feet at Archie. Let's go ahead and put that in the altitude selector. 7,000, and then we'll plan to start our descent 5 prior to our top of descent point. Let's see where that is. It's showing right at Diamond, so about 5 prior to Diamond, we'll go ahead and start our descent. If we reach Diamond, we're not descending, then there's a problem. So I need to, that's basically going to be my warning that we need to start descent now. Okay, approach-wise, let's go ahead and finish this up. We have, looking at San Francisco International, 28th December 18, 11-4, ILS 28 right. Localizers 111.7. Showing, it hasn't quite tuned in on the nav page yet. We'll check that as we get closer. 284 inbound, glide slope at Aximal 1,800 feet. ILSDA is 213. We set that into the performance page. Airport elevation is 13, touchdown zone is 13 feet. Let's check and make sure the pressurization looks good. Showing a cabin altitude -70. I don't know what that's about, but it should depressurize us when we get on the ground. It is in auto mode. Keep an eye on that. The missed approach, published miss, has climbed to 3,000. It's likely, though, it's going to be pattern back around, so we'll follow Tyler's instructions today. Like they said, it's ILS to visual. MSA is 5,000 to the north, 4,500 to the southeast, 3,500 to the west of San Francisco VOR. And highest obstacle is the tower, 3,049 feet out to the east. And then we have Archie at 7,000 mandatory, Ziled at or above 6,000, Gear at or above 5,000, Dumba should be at or above 4,000, which it is. Then we have Seepin, Aximal the runway 28 right, and then climb at 3000 on the 281 radial San Francisco to VICU and hold. And it's that right hand turns 281 inbound, which is shown on the chart here. And that all matches. There we are, 5 prior to Diamond. I'm going to go ahead and push in the knob so we don't forget. And I'll let Center know. Oakland Center, United 5874, vacating flight level 280. And we line up. I'm finally looking for a Peppy on the left side of the runway. Altitude lighting. After we land on 28 right, left hand turn off. Plan for taxiway Tango exit. Hot spot there because we have to get clearance before we cross 28 left. There are hold short bars there. Once we cross 28 left, straight in Tango Kilo Alpha. We're parking at the Foxtrot 15 gate today, so should be pretty quick in there. But that's our plan. I'm gonna make a quick announcement in the back.
Reading tower at the right base, runway 16, go to land. Here from the runway 16, you're good to land. Galena 279 at Golf Seattle departure to Bremerton Airport is filed.
And ladies and gentlemen, Captain speaking from the flight tech. We have begun our descent to San Francisco. Should have you on the ground in just about 30 minutes or so. Looking at an on-time arrival. We'll be parking at gate Foxtrot 15. Beautiful day in San Francisco. Winds calm, clear skies. Temperature right about 70 degrees. Thanks for flying with us on United. Hope to see you again on a future flight.
Hold freely, advise when ready for departure.
Alright, there we go. We gave them the announcement that we're going in there. It's a really short flight. So we're supposed to accelerate to 280 knots by this next fix. I don't know if it's going to...
5874, contact terminal approach 120.95.
2095, now 5874. I want to speed us up here, because I don't think it's going to do it.
Bravo, push back from gate Charlie 13, ready to taxi.
We're supposed to be at 280 knots here. There we go. PilotEdge is not the place to do experimenting with the airplane. They will get mad at you if you're not on your speeds. You'll see at 280 knots.
Alpha Whiskey 10 left, last 148. 120.95, 1920 Foxtrot.
And Center United 5874, flight level 212, descending via the Diamond 5.
And 5874, local approach, San Francisco Altimeter 3002. Advise when you have information X-ray. Expect ILS runway 28 right approach.
3002, we do have X-ray and expecting 28 right, United 5874. Okay.
NorCal approach, stock 1920 Foxtrot, 6600. Hack 1920 Foxtrot approach, Stockton Altimeter 3001. 3001.
Do a quick flyby. Watch your ears. See what, see some of the cities down there. This is that standard definition of the Orbix Northern California scenery, so it looks pretty good. It really does from altitude. Oh, it's a pretty large city we're flying over. Let's see which one it is. Hit maps on Avatab. That's Modesto. Modesto, California.
Sky high 265.
Boise Tower, Alaska 148 is coming up on Whiskey, and we're ready. 10 left.
Alright, 3002 is the altimeter. Let's go ahead and get that set. And I never turn the seatbelt sign off as we're flying over all these mountains. And let's see, in hectopascals, that's going to be 1017. There might be a way to get this to switch to inches of mercury, but I do not know how in this Toliss. Alright, we got all of our lights on. There it is. And we'll be using auto brakes at 1. And let's do this approach descent check. Approach briefing complete. FMC's radios program set for approach. ECAM status check is now complete. And I'll hold down recall, make sure nothing comes up. Yep, very good. Egypt was radar. It's terrain on the left, radar on the right. I can probably do a tilt down really quickly. I'm not even sure the radar works on the Toliss. I've never seen any returns on it yet. I'll even set that over this number 2 system, but auto brakes are set. Altimeter 3002, cross check, landing lights on, approach descent check complete.
Ready to taxi back to GA ramp. Check to inform the harbor taxi parking via Delta 3, cross runway 12 at Delta 3.
I got a few little clouds out over the mountains, and around the other side of this we'll be in the Bay Area. Let's take a quick look in the back.
Cross runway 12 and go to Delta 3. Charlie Kilo.
Yeah, we'll go back behind the wing too. Look at the sun dancing off of those mountains there, just to the west of the Bay Area. What a view. And mountains back toward Yosemite, out of sight now in the haze. But we'll continue our approach down into the Bay Area. Alright, let's take a quick look here. We were supposed to be between flight level 190 and 14,000 at flows, which we were. Seeds 200 at 250 knots between 12 and 10,000. So we'll need to keep an eye on the
Above ground, sky high 265. Ready for taxi from the GA.
autopilot. Make sure it is going to slow us to 250 knots. Theoretically it should, but let me take our range out.
Big Sky departure left 148. Big Sky departure Alaska 148, south at 6.6 for 16,000 via the Boise 3. Alaska 148, big departure, contact, cruise direct roar. Direct roar.
I can see some of the water out there, out in front of us. So it looks like only 45 nautical miles out at this point. But XEnviro, I got XEnviro just a week or two ago, and I have really enjoyed it so far. It does cause a pretty substantial hit on the frame rates, but it looks phenomenal. And I don't know if y'all can tell on the stream, the clouds maybe look a little grainy at times when you're looking at them, but they're working on a fix for that. So it's a lot of fun to have this XEnviro, especially in the winter. It has the snow cover.
Final descent to San Francisco. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in a full upright position.
And we gotta slow to 250. They're gonna yell at us if we don't.
Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
Look at the spoilers out here. Speed brakes.
United 5874, contact local approach 135.65.
3565, 958, 74. Alright, 35, 65. That tune in here. There we go. Alright, speed brakes coming back in. Local approach, United 5874, 10-2 descending via the Diamond 5.
United 5874, local approach, clear ILS, runway 28, right approach.
Cleared ILS 28 right, United 5874. Okay, we are now clear for the approach. I'm going to turn on the LS mode here.
133.25 for Alaska 148.
And we don't have an identification yet. It does have us at 111.7. We're hitting some turbulence. I'm going to turn on the continuous ignition on the engines. We're really getting rocked around here. Alright, Firefly at 230 knots at 8,000. So I'm going to go ahead and set 230 in here. It looks like we're only 6.5 out. I'm going to go ahead and bring the speed brakes back out again. It's a slippery airplane. We're heavy. There's turbulence. Okay, so if we're clear for the approach, that means we can set in the final altitude on the approach, which is going to be 1,800. So I'm going to set 1,800 in the altitude selector here. That way we continue our descent. And once we have the localizer identified, I'll arm approach mode for us. Just want to make sure we're picking up the right thing. So 111.7 is what it's going to be planning to tune to, and as we can see here, we're 28 right, 111.7, India Golf Whiskey Quebec, and that's exactly what we're showing there. So looks good. And I didn't give her the bells, but I'm going to go ahead and give him the bells now.
Departures, 798 call, that's runway 10, runway 20, ready for departure. Skyline 9 and Golf Hill, departure release for departure, call void of 1.5 minutes, report airborne.
And I'm going to try the managed speed again. Oh, we have a caution. Yep, speed brake's still out. Yep, that was my bad.
Southwest 318, contact departure.
Over to departure, Southwest 318.
A lot of times, I've never flown the Airbus A320 family in real life, but other aircraft I've flown, when I bring the speed brakes out in flight, you just leave your hand on it. That way you remember to put it back in when you don't need it anymore. But hey, if you forget, airplane will yell at you, which is nice.
Takeoff runway 3, we'll turn up to 330, sky 2.
Alright, there's Archie. We were supposed to be at 7,000 feet at Archie.
Sky 265. Phoenix departure, Southwest 318.
I think that's San Jose off the left wing there.
After flight level 210, Southwest 318.
And we're hitting 7,000 at Archie, and we're clear for the ILS 2. Hey, right. So I'll switch our plate over.
1,000, climbing to 4,000. Skyline 279 and Golf Hill, departure, IDAT.
Wow, this scenery here is stunning.
9 and Golf Hill, contact 1 mile southwest of Bremerton, altimeter 3005.
Yeah, we'll make sure that we are getting slowed down by seeping unless we hear otherwise. We'll start slowing. Not sure how good this aircraft is at slowing down. Alright, we have an identifier. I'm going to hit the approach mode. We're clear for the approach. India Golf Whiskey Quebec is showing up now, so we're good to go. And we are rocking.
799 Golf, I'm going to maintain 5,000. 5,000 or 98 Golf.
Alright, I'm going to do a quick flyby. Watch your ears. It's actually probably quieter than the cockpit. Look at the plane rocking in this turbulence. Wings flexing, bouncing. That's cool. Let's see, glide slope's alive. Like we said, at Dumba and Seepin. So at Seepin, we'll make sure we're really starting to slow down. I don't think it's too busy on PilotEdge in San Francisco today. So I don't think it's going to bother them too much if we slow down. Let's see if I can get tower frequency standing by 120.5. We'll get that standing by. Save us a little time when that occurs. We're going to get busy here in a minute. Alright, flaps one. And Loke. Yeah, I see where the airport is. It's out there. You can see the kind of runway peninsula sticking out, jutting out.
Albuquerque Dispatcher, Sky 265, 72, climate at 8, on heading 320.
And Golden Gate Bridge is going to be somewhere way out there. We just can't see it from where we are. But it's out there.
265, take departure, you got a contact, climb and maintain 11,000.
Up to 11,000, Sky 265.
Alaska 148, accent the climb and maintain, flight level 39.
Hey, glide slope capture. And
0 miles from Theo, join Victor 263.
gear down.
Victor 263, Sky 265.
Flaps 2. At least it's smoothing out a little bit for the passengers as we come in for landing here. All right, we're 10 below the next flap traction or flap extension speed. Flaps 3. And
2,500.
all right, we have the localizer identified.
74 contact San Francisco Tower 120.5.
1205, United 5874.
Southwest 318, contact Albuquerque Center 134.32.
Albuquerque Center 3432, Southwest 318.
San Francisco Tower, United 5874 outside Axmal.
2,000.
74 San Francisco Tower, runway 28 right, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 28 right, United 5874. Alright, clear to land. 1218 is going to be ground when we get on the ground. It's just good to have all these things set up early. Alright, before landing check, cabin notification. I gotta do it again. Cabin notification complete. Landing gear down, 3 green lights. Spoilers armed. Flaps, full plan, full indicated. And missed approach. We set the missed approach heading and altitude. So 3,000 is going to be our missed approach altitude. And that's set. 4 land check complete. Runway's in sight. There's downtown San Francisco in the distance and the Bay Bridge. That's really cool. Missed approach. Heading altitude set. And we're stable. Autopilot's coming off.
Departure. Cessna 4725 Delta, holding short runway 17, your time. Cessna 4725 Delta, Seattle departure.
500.
We have very slight tailwind, 2 knots.
400.
In 5 minutes, I will advise them airborne 4725 Delta.
100 above. 300. Minimum. 200.
Runway in sight, landing. Apologize.
100.
Wow, that's loud. Oh my gosh.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. 10. 5.
Okay, here comes Tango. Spoilers are out and reversers are stowed. Excellent.
Severity 50 at 74, cross runway 28 left at Tango, join Alpha to the gate, 1 air ground with you.
Cross straight left Tango, join Alpha to the gate. United 5874, good night.
Welcome to
Alright, clear left, clear to cross, clear right, clear to cross.
5:28 p.m. and it's currently about
And once we get to the other side, we'll clean up here.
Fahrenheit. You can now take your local flight
What approach are you looking for?
until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the
That's a really quick taxi in.
remember to use caution when opening the overhead
We're doing Tango, Kilo, right turn on Alpha.
If this is your final destination, we thank
Alright,
you
flaps
for
up.
flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage
After landing check.
you to duration of your journey.
Another call, can you repeat? Skyline and most expect RM Alpha runway 20 approach. RNAV runway 20.
Alright, clear right here. Now we need to monitor ground.
1,000, 40,000.
Start the APU up.
Number 4725 Delta Seattle departure ident.
Alright, and there's our gate right over here. We're at a Foxtrot 15. Let's look at the. That's Foxtrot 22. There's Foxtrot 15.
25 Delta Weather contact 18 miles south of Seattle, Altimeter 3006. Altimeter 3006 for 7.
Yeah, we're hot on the brakes. And after land check really quickly before we go in here, Flaps are up. Spoilers retracted. Landing strobe lights are off. Transponders out, and AP started. And we do have a problem. We have cabin pressure system 2 fault, so we need to make sure delta P's at 0.1. Cabin altitude's negative 200. Let's tell the flight attendant to not open the door. Stand by.
Heading 304679 call.
Hey, just make sure you don't open the doors right away. I'll let you know when you can. Okay, thank you.
November 25 Delta, Tacoma Altimeter 3005. Advise when you have the weather and approach request.
Here comes our line to stop at right there. Alright. Set the parking brake. Set. Okay, let's see if we can, if there's anything we can do here. So just cabin pressures 2 fault.
First Douglas 5 drilling about 8,700, about 20 miles to the northeast of Sacramento, VOR. We'd like the visual for 2 into Sacramento.
Target vertical speed 500 feet per minute. How are we looking on the pressurization here? We need to go up in altitude and see if I can do that just to get us to 0. Maybe it'll switch to another. I just want to be 100% sure that we are depressurized. Looks like the outflow valve is open. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, there we go. Gate 1. Foxtrot 15 was our gate here. I have to fill out the A cars, and that's all set. Alright, let's get the gate connected. Beacons off. Seatbelt signs are now off. We'll get the jet bridge connected here with Sam. And we'll get all of the different ground handling equipment up here. And let's run through our park and flow. Get all the fuel pumps off. And transponder can come off now. And fuel flow is showing 0. Let's run through the park and check. Park and brake set. APU ground power is set on the APU. The engine master switch is off. Fuel flow is 0, which it was showing right there. Transponder standby. Emergency lights off. Beacon checked off. Fuel pumps off. Anti-ice off. A-cars, in-flight, ADIRs off. Parking check complete. Alright, well thank you so much for joining me here today on this flight. VRF Simmer once again. Happy to show you this A321 by Toliss Aircraft. I think they just had their 1-year anniversary of this aircraft coming out. So yeah, it should be unlocked now. But it is on sale at the moment. And hopefully I can get this cockpit door to open. So, otherwise I'll just bust through it. There it goes. Perfect. Alright, well thanks for riding along. I'm going to close this out now. We're going to listen to some music. Do a quick walk around of the aircraft, make sure it's in good shape. And we will also watch a replay of the landing. So stick around for that. For now, VRF Simmer signing off. And have a great rest of your day.
I couldn't